Delevingne. So excited. These when I came in to before the episodes to go, so we've got 2 episodes. The lady in the green dress over there nearly fell out her seat. She was so excited.
Gorgeous dress.
Congratulations on this.
Did you like it, guys? I mean, that trio. I mean, season 2, guys.
Well, were you a fan before you became part of it?
No, of course I was. I don't know. If anyone wasn't, I would always advise them to watch it before I even saw it. So that's why I was so shocked when I was like, I don't know, I'd never been so confused when my agent said 2 words. I was like, only murders in the building. Wait, no, that's a lie. You're lying. Is this a joke? Is it fucking April Fool's? I was just blown away, confused, and also like, so I didn't even ask what the part was. I was just.
No way.
No, I mean, I did obviously ask eventually, but I was like, I'm already, yes, no matter what it was. I'd be an extra. I'd be a runner.
Why?
Because those 3 together, but also you can just tell with a show like that. I don't know. There's just so many sets. I mean, there's so many sets that you think, oh my god, that would have been so fun, and maybe they weren't. But that set, I had a feeling, and then as soon as I got there, I was like, this is exactly what I imagined it to be. Everyone loves the show so much. Everyone who works there, everyone's trying to figure out what the ending is. Everyone's just so happy to be there. It just hardly felt like a job at all. It was hard to even call it that. It was just the best time ever.
Well, watching those 3 in particular, I love Selena's kind of lo-fi, kind of the swagger attitude that she has as this character. And Steve Martin, you kind of feel like he's just been himself, and Martin as well, sort of things. Well, so what's the reality kind of on set? Because I imagine that you're there and they're doing scenes whilst you're waiting to do your stuff as well, so you're able to observe. What is it like watching them, and what's the kind of...
Well, what's interesting, I do think Selena's part is definitely the most opposite from herself in so many ways. Because again, Steve and Martin, like, they are so good at what they do, but honestly, like, so many times I was like, why are they not filming this offset? Because they're just so ridiculous and funny, and they, I just think they met and they just found their, like, creative soulmate, because they're just adorable. I can't even handle it, and I just remember but they're so completely different. I just remember the first time I went on set and I was in Selena's dressing room, and Marty came in. He was like, right, I want to see what you're like. I want to get to know you. And I was like, oh god, I'm quite scared. And we just started talking about like condiments and like the royal family and my opinions about things. I was like, this is so funny. They're just so different and so magical, and I really did not want it to end. As it please.
Did you, when you got offered the part though, because Selena's your mate.
She is,
you know, of that kind of thing.
Nepotism. That's what we call it.
But kind of, kind of going, what's it like, or was it just kind of quite nice getting on, knowing that you would get on set, and there's a kindred spirit. There's a mate there.
Yeah, I mean, I did think, I was like, I wonder how I got the role, but then they described the part to me. They were like, an English queer wannabe artist. I was like, that sounds like me. So typecast, probably typecast.
Tell us about Alice then. What can you tell us about her?
Alice,
without any spoilers.
I mean, I just gave you a little overview. I mean, you kind of guessed that. But I didn't really. The thing is, that when I was shooting it, I didn't know about the trajectory. I didn't know anything about what she was kind of like. So I had to kind of make my own assumptions, and certain things I definitely got wrong. But she's an English artist that went to New York and is trying to prove herself. Because an artist that young, especially, art is a hard thing. It's obviously it's everyone's own opinion. So to do that, you have to have, blind ambition, confidence. She knows what she wants and she goes for it. But there's layers to her. There's things that unravel as they do, and twists and turns, which isn't a surprise for this show. It would be boring otherwise. I definitely think I'm a bit of a dramatic. You can't say dramatic relief of the show, but comedic relief, but dramatic relief. Sure. Either way,
am I the drama? Comedic. Well, how is your knowledge of the art world prior to doing this show?
I mean, not bad. I cannot draw. I mean, my handwriting is terrible. I'm not good at art, but I love art. But I'm quite specific about what art I like, because I do sometimes. I would go to a gallery and I'm like, but I could do that. I'm talking about like certain things, and then obviously there's certain things when I'm like, how do people come up with this? This is crazy. It's just so funny how people. Yeah, about the explanation of what art is and how that makes it art. It's just, art is such an interesting thing, because again, you could take a piece of poo, wrap it in tinfoil and be like, this is art. You're like, yes, sell it for 50 grand. I don't know. But that's just certain things.
Was there an opportunity though for you to collaborate on Alice, in terms of,
not the art. I wanted to do the art.
Did you?
Yes, because
No poo.
because you saw no, but because you've seen the bit episode 2, the gallery, yeah, obviously. But yes, because I was like, if I was going to make something about Mabel, the character, I was like, something, and when I saw it, I was like, that's not what I would have made, but not in a bad way. But I think I got quite attached to the character in that way. It was more that I wanted to be a part of, like, I don't know, because I never play an English role, really, ever, and I also never played a queer part, so I was kind of like, so what work do I have to do? Like, usually there's an accent, so I was like, okay, so I'll change my hair and be more involved in the clothes. I don't know, it's just, it feels like I had to work harder to do something.
Because it was closer to yourself.
But also not, though.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
different, but also close. I don't know, I found it weird.
But it sounds like it's a real collaborative team, you know, from kind of speaking to people and watching and listening to loads of stuff about it, you know, and it feels like they really listen to everybody on set, and particularly, you know, when you are coming in as a newbie and a new character and stuff, and hearing your opinions about what the character is and how you see her. You know, you've read the script, you kind of know what the relationship is and where it possibly goes or where she fits within the story. Were you allowed that kind of collaboration?
Yeah, I mean, there's always you kind of have to test it out, because again, you don't want to step over your mark if it's not your job or like what that entitles. But in a way, I do, you know, I know what it's like to be English and going to. But there's just certain things as well, because I think that they were mostly American writers, and I was like, an English person would not say that. A lot of the time, we're like, especially the way it comes off with certain things, but not in a bad way. But there's just certain things. I was actually just quite surprised that they gave me a lot of freedom, would ask for my opinion in certain things, and like, I don't know, getting to improv in certain situations, it just made me feel so really confident in certain ways. But that's what that cast does. They're all so supportive and so sweet. It's just, because honestly, I thought I'd be, in my mind when I think about it, I should have been terrified, but I really wasn't. I've never been so comfortable.
Do you like the improv? Is that a great opportunity as a performer?
I mean, for me, I've loved acting my entire life, but like improv was always so fun, because with ADD and stuff, I always think about really weird stuff all the time in situations or whatever. But you know, improv is what we kind of do all the time. But basically, when you think it's improv, then people get more scared about what it is.
Yeah.
We're improving right now.
Yeah.
You know
Just chat.
Like,
yeah. Well, but also when you're faced with, you know, Steve and Martin, you know, they're comedic geniuses, really, sort of thing. I kind of would just find most of my time, if I was on set, just watching them and kind of.
Oh, totally.
And I mean, it's a really crap question, but are they as funny in real life as we think they are?
But that's the thing, is they're not trying to be, because there's a lot of comedians, usually male comedians, and I'm sorry, not in a bad way. There's a lot of comedians you think like they're my favorite, and you meet them and then you're like, wait, what?
You're just not funny.
No, but they're so the opposite. It's not that they're not funny, they're just so straight edged.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's. Usually, every female comedian I've met is actually fun, and I'm like, you are hysterical. People don't. Usually, when people try and be funny, like I always try and make dad jokes. Obviously, they're terrible, but also like whatever. I don't know. They're just the way they are, and they're just so funny, and the way that they are just so comfortable.
Yeah.
But Marty's just like, me and Marty are very similar, as in we're quite annoying and very distracting to work with, because we'll just break into song and start just doing weird stuff. And Steve and Selena would sit there going, oh my god, you two, why did we got them together? Yeah, that was funny.
Well, can you remember that first day on set, what it was like?
Well, the first day on set, I was just recording the video that I was sending to her. But honestly, that was the scariest part, because I was alone, and also I put way too much thought into it. I was like, so the voice has to be like this, and then I've got to be so good. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm just freaking myself out. So I kind of freaked myself out first, so then I was kind of relaxed.
Okay. And what these guys have seen the first 2 episodes.
Oh.
So just put your head in that place, because we don't want any spoilers.
What do you think's gonna happen, guys?
We were just having that conversation. Yeah.
We thought it was the same.
Yeah, we thought it was the same.
A musical episode.
A musical episode. There we go.
Buffy.
By the way, that's what I said. If I mixed with anything, I was like, please. They could all sing. I just wanted to break into song so badly. Always. Oh, please.
That's a really good idea. You need to shout that out.
Yeah, but also if they pretended to do it in a way where just one of them starts singing, it's not actually a musical where it's recorded, where they're just going like singing everything because they think it's weird. I don't know. That's what I wanted.
What can you tell us though, as a kind of, I mean, what can you tell us about the season without spoilers? Are you a type of person that gives...
the murder? No.
Are you good at keeping secrets?
I am really good at keeping secrets, but I also like to. I also like to confuse people with the things I tell them. Did anyone notice the necklace I was wearing?
Yes.
Did anyone know what it was? Okay, good. Never mind. Drop that. It's really not anything
Gonna watch
to
on
do.
Tuesday
No, but by the
again.
way, it's nothing to do with the show. It's just my own little Easter egg that I dropped in just for my own amusement. So it's really not anything to do with the story. It's just for my own benefit. So no, I will not give anything away because I don't know what else I could say that won't. I don't know.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard. But it's lovely because there's an amazing kind of ensemble cast in this. And all these kind of people keep popping up and you're going, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Was it kind of like, you know, craft services at lunchtime going, oh, hello?
Well, because I was in only like a few episodes, but then because I just remember me and Selena, we went and saw Amy Schumer kind of practice her Oscar speeches at like the comedy club, and she was like, I can't believe we're in Only Murders together. I was like, we are? So we went in the same episode. I was like, cool, man, I can't believe we're in the same show. That's so fun. Yeah, stuff like that though.
She looks like she's having a whale of a time.
She always
in this
does.
show.
I love, she is again one of the funniest people.
Yeah. How much, I mean, I can't imagine she sort of just, she like needed a script really, you know, in terms like, so this is your character,
So.
she gets from there to there
She
and go.
just goes, yeah, I know. Same with Tina Fey though. I mean, there are just so many people. I just was so blown away. Especially comedy to me is, I mean, I've always wanted to do comedy, but I was just like, I'm not funny enough. But like, I love it so much. But it's just for me, my favorite in terms of like medicine and what it gives you, like the ability like to laugh is the best medicine in the world. But it's like kind of the least respected genre in terms of the movie industry or whatever. But it's just like it's the most fun and the hardest to write.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm just like, anyway.
Do you want to do more comedy then? Is that the kind of...
Yeah, I mean, I would like to, but my humor is very dark and dry and it's weird. No, more so, but like, you know, like Fleabag again is like one of my favorite shows in the world. Like what Phoebe Waller-Bridge did for comedy in that way. Like, I don't know, that the American slapstick comedy is, I kind of find it very interesting, but that's different.
Yeah.
They're kind of in the middle. I don't know.
It's involving. I feel like we kind of feel like we're in on the gag with them in a way.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of like...
But you feel like you know them, or
Yeah.
like you just want to live in that building. Honestly, the most surprising thing is that building. I thought it was a building, so when I walked in, I was like, it's a lie. I've been working in this industry for so long. Like, how did I think that it wasn't a lie? I was like, what? I'm so confused. Oh no.
we're so grateful you came to chat about it tonight.
I'm so
and
grateful
they were
you
so
watched it. You liked
excited
it, guys.
that you came as well. And thank you so much for being here, Cara. It's great to get to chat to
Thank
you.
you.
about
Honestly, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Safe journey home. Thank you. Don't forget Tuesday, first 2 eps, and then weekly after that. Thank you
It's
so
the
much.
parrot.
You are not supposed to say anything.
They have to know. Honestly, it really is.
Thanks, guys. Safe home.